And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella, based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Tasha, Hannah, Rena, and the twins Ellie and Emmy. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Esme made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy all together. One day, the king of Tripleville's messenger said, Hear ye, the king of Tripleville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Stripling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are... Tasha said, He's going to marry me. Hannah said, No way, Tasha. He's going to marry me. Rena said, Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Ellie said, All 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Emmy said, Are you kidding, sister? He's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad because she cannot go to the ball. Suddenly, Cinderella's fairy godmother asks what's wrong. Why are you crying, Cinderella? She asks. Cinderella responds, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Stripling. The fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word. Triply, trappily, triply, true. And then Cinderella's chores are all done, but the fairy godmother said, She's not done. He then said, Cinderella, go fetch me a good old pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 3 pumpkins. The fairy godmother waved her magic wand and chanted the magic word, Triply, trappily, troppily, true. And then the 3 pumpkins turned into a handsome coach drawn by 6 strong horses. And then Cinderella's do-rag and red dress turned into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a triple-tastic crown and gown. And get a load of my glass slippers. The fairy godmother said, Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Stripling was wondering who he should marry. Tasha, Hannah, Rena, Ellie, and Emmy say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. But he's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Stripling dance together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she's running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Stripling was so worried. He afraid that he might never see Cinderella again. So he traveled around Tripleville to find her and brought the tiny glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the house where Cinderella and her ugly, mean stepsisters lived. Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can you try on this glass slipper? Tasha first. Hannah second. Rena third, and the twins last, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Stripling noticed Cinderella singing. She exclaimed, Prince Stripling, is that you? Prince Stripling said, Of course it's me. Frila gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Tripling back. And he doesn't need to put on the glass slipper back on Frila's foot because it's so uncomfortable. And they both live happily ever after. The end. And now, Analyze Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi all together. One day, the king of Sevenville's messengers said, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of Sevenville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Septupling." But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi argue over who will marry Prince Septupling later. Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, "Why are you crying, Cinderella?" Cinderella responds, I have lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling." Cinderella's fairy godmother said, "I can help with a bit of magic." So she waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's godmother is not done yet. She said, "Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin." Luckily, Cinderella has 7 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 7 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 14 strong horses. And then Cinderella's wear clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, "I've never seen such a septuple-tastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers," Cinderella's fairy godmother said. "Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everyone will change back to the way it was before." Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Septupling said, "Who should marry me?" Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi say all together, "He's walking towards me." But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Septupling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's all midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Septupling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So she traveled around Sevenville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi lived. But instead of Cinderella, Prince Septupling finds her 5 ugly, mean stepsisters. He then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper one by one? Sophia first, but her foot is too big." The rest is the same, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Upling notices Cinderella's sweet Slimy. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella and Prince Upling now live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers, and this is the 2835th episode of Andrew Does Everything. Hang on. And now I've been debating on making the Cinderella sequels. I could do that. So, if you want to see Cinderella 2 7 Dreams Come True, maybe I can do it a 7-episode tradition. And all of you, I hope you enjoyed this parody fairy tale about rags to riches. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And, oh, look at the time. And well, Andrew's Doers, if we time this video just right, and a few minutes later, wait for it. And if we can time this video just right, maybe I could still do it a 7-episode tradition, by the way. And then this video is 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 11erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 11erella. 11erella had 6 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina. All 6 of them made fun of 11erella and made her do all the chores. 11er wench! Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, clean out the pantry, do it all, said Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina, all together. One day, the king of 11ville's messenger arrives and says, Hear ye, the king of 11ville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Upling. But 11erella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Ella. No way, Ella, you're wrong. He's going to marry me, said Lola. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Asha. Vada said, all 3 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Elsa. All 4 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, Nina, the youngest stepsister, said. All 5 of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, 11erella is so sad about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Coupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks her 11erella what's wrong by saying, There, 11erella, why are you crying, my dear? In which 11erella responds, I have lots of chores to do, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Coupling. 11erella's fairy godmother can make her wish come true by saying, I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you. And so she waves her magic wand to clean up all the chores for 11erella. But she's not done yet, she said. 11 go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 11 has 11 pumpkins and 22 mice. 11 fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 11 pumpkins into a handsome coach, 22 mice into horses, and then 11 ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 11 said, I've never seen such a double wonderful gown. You get a load of my glass slippers and climbs into the coach. Her fairy godmother says, have fun, 11, my dear, but I will warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. It gives her a clock to tell her what time it is, and so 11 accepts the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, the king of 11ville says, good evening, all. My son, Prince Unakopling, was wondering who he should marry. Isn't that right, son? In which Prince Unakopling responds, yes, father. Suddenly, 11 arrives at the ball just in time. Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina say, he's walking towards me altogether, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 11 May I have this dance? Prince Unakopling then asks, to which 11 responds, I would be delighted. Prince Unakopling and 11 dance happily together. But later, as 11 checks her clock, and it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Unakopling was so worried and sad that he might never see 11 again. The king of 11ville comforts him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find 11 my dear daughter-in-law. And so, the king of 11ville and Prince Unakopling began their journey all around the neighborhood to try to find 11 and brought the glass slipper she lost with them. By the time they arrived, they knocked on the door at the house where 11 Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, and Elsa and Nina all together live. But instead of 11 they find Ella, Lola, Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina. Prince Unakopling then says, ladies, my father, the king of 11ville, and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Ella is first, but her foot is too big. Lola is next, but her foot is too small. Nonsense! It fits, she said. Asha, Vada, Elsa, and Nina did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size either. Suddenly, the king of 11ville and Prince Unakopling noticed 11 sweet singing. She heard excitedly, overjoyed, Prince Unakopling and your majesty, is that you guys? The king of Unakopling says, my dear daughter-in-law, we found you. Will you marry Prince Unakopling? To which 11 hollered more overjoyed, yes! And so, 11 the king of Unakopling and Prince Unakopling lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, interest doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and introduce everything. And I've been debating on making the sequels a bit of tradition. So if you want to see maybe someday, or 11 11 wishes come true, something like that. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and introduce everything, and buy our merchandise at introduceeverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Introduce Everything proudly presents 15erella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named 15erella. 15erella had 7 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Isabella, Farah, Tina, Eliza, Eloise, and Nina. All 7 of them made 15 Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said 15, Fiona to Nina all together. One day, the king of Quindercumlingham's messengers arrived and said, Hear ye! Hear ye! The king of Quindercumlingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quindercumbling. But 15 is not welcome. Her stepsisters are. They then argue over who will marry Prince Quindercumbling. Later, Cinderella is so sad doing chores about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Quindercumbling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother asks 15 what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, 15 Cinderella? 15 responds in whine for, I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quindercumbling, but I have lots of chores to be done. 15 fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. She chants the magic words, Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, 15 chores are done, but her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 15 go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, 15 has 15 pumpkins. 15 fairy godmother chants the magic words, Quintadentity, Quintadentity, Quindu, again, and waves her magic wand again to turn the 15 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 30 strong horses, and then 15 ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 15 said, I've never seen such a Quindercumble-tastic gown, and get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? 15 fairy godmother said, well, you can't. But have fun, 15 but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before. 15 accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quindercumbling was wondering who he should marry. Fiona to Nina say all together, He's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 15 Prince Quindercumbling then asks, May I have this dance? 15 responds, I would be delighted. 15 and Prince Quindercumbling danced happily together. But later, 15 realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Quindercumbling was really worried that he might never see 15 again, so he traveled all around Quindercumlingham to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home where 15 and her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters lived. But instead of 15 Prince Quindercumbling finds Fiona to Nina. He then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Fiona is first, but her foot is too big. Isabella is next, but her foot is too small. The rest are the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quindercumbling notices 15 sweet singing. The glass slipper fits! 15 gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Quindercumbling back. And they both lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrews Doers. And if you want to see some sequels, tell your friends about it. And maybe I can do it. a big tradition. Take care. Bye.